So Aiden, a P4 in race 1 at Thruxton, it just looks so tricky to pass it there with the dirty air.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I said earlier to you that it was going to be difficult. We have a tractor coming straight at us. Yeah, I said earlier it was going to be difficult, but honestly, it was a lot harder than we thought. I think at the moment we have a big tailwind down the back straight, which makes the toe less, and we have a big headwind into the high speed. So basically, two things you don't want to try and overtake. It's the best if you're trying to defend, but yeah, not very good if you're trying to overtake. So yeah, it was difficult. But we got from 6th to 4th, and then the pace was really strong. I mean, I was catching Louis very slowly but very surely. So, and then after the safety car, we didn't resume. Unfortunately, with a couple minutes to go because of delays earlier in touring cars. So it was a bit annoying to not get a crack at third, to be honest. But we got points. We made up 2 places. So yeah, I can't be too unhappy.
And how was it managing the tyres there, just in the dirty air as well? Is it damaging, and how much an effect will that have for tomorrow?
Honestly, quite a lot tomorrow, because obviously we've all got to use a set of tyres again at some point throughout the weekend. So in that regard, it's better that we had a shorter race because it won't be as difficult tomorrow. But you can definitely feel it. I mean, even turn 1 here, which really isn't even a corner, it's flat out in the wet. In dirty air, it's hard. And you can take it flat, but you really damage the front left tyre. So it's about managing it, as you said. It's not the hardest thing to do around here, but yeah, it will be challenging come race 2 or race 3 tomorrow.
And as there's such little downforce here, do you have to change the way you hit the brake pedal and your braking technique?
A little bit. You can't be quite as aggressive on the brakes, but it's not quite like, F2, F3 or F1, of course. Yeah, I think when you get to that speed and that much downforce, it's a big difference, like an active difference. But for us, it's just more managing locking a little bit more. So yeah, it's not too much, but you do feel it for sure.
And the track, it seemed a bit cooler than earlier on. So what was that like? Was it easier to manage the tyres, and how was the grip?
Do you know what? It's actually what I thought it'd be like, and it turned out to be the opposite. So yeah, I mean, that's racing. You can't predict everything. You can make very good educational assumptions. Sometimes I don't always work out that way. So, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't too bad. We didn't get to do the full race distance, as I've already said, so we didn't really get to see what it's going to be like at the end. But I'm sure we will tomorrow, and I'm sure you'll hear a few more of us complaining tomorrow after race 2. So yeah.
And what are you expecting from the 2 races tomorrow? Of course, the reverse grid as well.
Reverse grid race around here. I mean, how many cars? I'm starting 21st in the reverse grid race, so it's going to be, I dare to say carnage, but I think it will be carnage. Honestly, it's going to be surviving. Surviving, doing the best you can to move forwards. You get a point per overtake up to an overtake, so you just need to make the most of it, really. And then race 3, I'm starting P3, second row. Good, nice and close to the guys on the front. So yeah, anything can happen, especially during the first couple of laps. So we're going to go out with the aim to win, and we'll see.
And how would you assess the season as a whole so far?
Not great, to be honest. For a few reasons. So we're not quite where we wanted to be, but honestly, I'm trying to not dwell on that too much and just go onwards and upwards like we've tried to today.
Thanks so much.
No worries. Thank you.
Great to meet you again.
Thank you.